You've got your eyes on the city. We're approaching what tomorrow will be day 6 of protests. As we hit that mark, in the days to come, what are your biggest concerns?
Well, my hope is that we'll be able to bring together enough police resources along with our partners in the fire service, emergency management, to be able to hold people accountable for the behavior that we're dealing with that is most problematic. When people talk about protesters, those are people exercising their First Amendment rights. We're there to protect them. What we're talking about are people who are out there conducting criminal activity, mostly after dark, long after the protest activity is over. Those are the people that are causing the most damage in the city today. So we're going to try and isolate them, identify them, and be able to hold them accountable for what they're doing.
Your team is doing incredible work. We've been out on the streets since Sunday. We have noticed a significant reduction in tension and aggression and crowd size over the past few days, especially when you compare it to Sunday.
Right.
Has the National Guard played a significant role on that? Are they responsible for the relative peace that we're seeing?
They have a different mission. They're working in support of the federal agencies that are working with ICE on civil immigration enforcement and criminal immigration enforcement. We're not involved in that. We're involved in protecting the residents of Los Angeles and restoring order to the streets that are impacted.
Can I ask you, I've noticed the National Guard, they've been tasked with protecting federal buildings. The LAPD has taken a proactive approach to protecting them at times. We noticed it earlier today. I think there were about 100 police officers on the street preventing protesters from accessing that facility. You have mentioned that your team has been overwhelmed at times during the response to this protest. Has the duty to protect the National Guard, having that federal response here, hampered your response?
No, because what we're protecting are everybody in the city of Los Angeles. In the case that you cite there, we're moving people away from the federal buildings where the disorder is, where the incidents of violence and our problems lie, moving them away from there and dispersing them from there in the hopes to be able to restore order quickly and hopefully permanently.
As we stand here, I can tell you from what I have seen, the LAPD has been in control of this from the beginning, given the unique circumstances. Do you need the National Guard here to help you?
We don't need the National Guard, and they're not here to help us right now. They're here to facilitate what the federal agencies are doing on the immigration front. We're here, we have a protocol where we
See, I'm confused because President Trump said that they were brought in to assist with the protests.
Yeah, well, that's not our understanding, and what I've seen written up is that they're here to protect federal employees and federal facilities.
So they haven't even offered any assistance to the LAPD?
That's not their role. Yeah, that's not their role, crowd management or crowd control. We're doing that, and our protocol is to do it, to mobilize our department or a portion of our department, and then to be able to also bring in mutual aid partners, which are police organizations from around Southern California. And we're in the process of doing that now and looking at other strategies to be able to bring this to a peaceful halt here very quickly.
Has your office been in coordination, working in coordination in response to the protests with the National Guard?
We have communicated with them as they were deployed. There was an initial meeting where we basically introductions and what their role was. There was a follow-up meeting today where our staff were on it. I haven't gotten briefed on that meeting yet. So there has been some level of communication, but we're not working together on the same issues.
Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem has asked that the National Guard respond and arrest rioters. Are you aware of that decision, and what does that mean for the safety of your officers who are also responding?
Yeah, you know, I'm not sure exactly what she was referring to. My assumption is that within the scope of what their mission is, which is to protect federal employees and federal facilities, that they would do that. If rioters are breaching that, then they would deal with them through their system. Our role is to be able to restore order on the streets of Los Angeles. And just kind of a context, the city of Los Angeles is 465 square miles. Yeah. What we're talking about here is far less than 1 square mile. So I think the impression that people have is this is widespread, it's very localized.
We hear, and this is to your point, we're hearing that the National Guard is now assisting with ICE raids on the street, having a military presence there. What does that mean for your response? And are you worried that having that military presence outside of this small area of downtown could attract protests in those other areas of the city?
No, it certainly could. I mean, this is uncharted waters for us. As we watch this thing and how it evolves, we'll meet with the National Guard representatives and other federal agency representatives to be able to figure out how do we best work together so that there's communication, and we understand what they're doing and be able to facilitate the needs of the residents of Los Angeles.
I'm sincerely confused because President Trump has mentioned deploying 4,000 National Guards in response to protests. You're saying you have not been in coordination with them. Their role is to assist with ICE and immigration. Are you saying, do you believe that this was a Trojan horse tactic to bring in the National Guard only so that they could assist with these raids? And are you afraid for the safety of your teams out in the streets as a result?
Yeah, I couldn't speak to a Trojan horse strategy at all. What I see is the National Guard and now the Marines are there, and I read the mission statement that they put out, there to facilitate the action of the federal agents that are out there. Our role here is, like I said, very different. It's to restore order on the streets of Los Angeles, in that very small part of Los Angeles that is impacted, and we have a protocol for that with our mutual aid partners.
The Marines are here. They are used to war zones. Are you concerned about them interfacing with protesters?
Certainly a concern. You know, anytime anybody comes in the city and we're not clear on what roles and responsibilities are, there's a concern. I worry for our own people. I worry for residents of the city and for those impacted military partners that are in here and working hard at what they're doing. But it is very separate from what we're doing.
And why do you worry about having the Marines here?
Because we don't know what their mission is. It's not clearly defined for us at this point. You know, when you look at a city like Los Angeles, very dynamic, a lot going on, the more certainty we can have with anybody doing any kind of an action, an enforcement action, or whatever it is you want to call it, in our city, we want to know about it.
I know you're being very diplomatic, and I appreciate that. I have seen your teams out on the front lines. They have de-escalated some pretty intense, volatile situations.
Right.
Just yesterday in Little Tokyo, it was incredible to see that. Do you think that with the Marines coming here, they will bring that same sense of de-escalation to the streets?
I don't know that they'll be on the streets, not like we are, certainly. They have their role. I can't speak to what the response will be to the Marine Corps presence there or the Army presence, wherever they end up being. We're not really aware of where they're going to be or what the actions will be.
If the National Guard wasn't here,
Yeah.
where would you be? Where would the LAPD be right now?
The same place we are right now, because we're working with our mutual aid partners on the issues that we face.
So what I'm hearing is no added benefit whatsoever having this federal help.
It's not assigned to us. It's assigned to the federal agents who are carrying out their duties.
Moving forward, even beyond the next few days, we're hearing that troops are going to remain for 2 months, raids on a daily basis for the next month. Fears for you and for your department?
You know, there's concerns. Certainly, we don't know how long this is going to go on. We don't know what the public support will be for peace. We hope that people will realize that this is our city, that we need to be peaceful, that at the end of this operation, we all still live here. We have to work together. We want this to be the best city that it can be.